All right, so let me walk you through how you might find a suitable lav mic for recording on Amazon. All right, so we're currently on the Amazon.com website. Okay, so here I'm just going to type in Lavalier microphone. They're also called lapel mics as well, by the way. Okay, so as you can see, we're given a variety of options. These options you're seeing here are wireless versions of them. The one I was describing was the wired version. If you want to go for the wireless one, as you can see here, it's not too expensive. So this one comes to about $33 plus tax. Just bear that in mind. Obviously, there are others that are even more expensive and higher along the chain, but would do a good job just as well anyway. This one could be quite good because it's got both USB-C and the iPhone connector. It's got 2 inputs, which is quite helpful, particularly if you are doing interviews with somebody and you want an additional microphone. And you can just plug it straight into your phone or plug it into your recording device using this. So we're going to have a look at that. I'll open that in a different tab. Okay, so we have that. The next thing we want to do is just look at a few other options. So this one was $32 or $33 plus tax. This one is $29. But here's, the Rode. So Rode is a very well-known microphone brand, and so because they're well known, they do have higher prices, but these aren't the ones I'm really referring to. So what we can do to find the ones that are between $15 and $20 or even less than that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a filter on Amazon so that it can give you the ones that could be less. All right, so let's go to a pricing filter, shall we? So if we go to price, it's usually somewhere, there we go. Okay, so that's the filter there. So I'm going to reduce this all the way to, let's put 25 as the upper limit, just so that we have a good range. Okay, you've even got some wireless ones that are less than $25, which could actually be a good option to try out. Let's go. Let's see. So this one is quite good. So this is newer. They're a pretty well-known brand when it comes to audio products and just creator equipment, I'd say. So they've got one here, and this is a good one to consider. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add them to cart so we can compare them later. All right, so we have that. Next we have, let's see what else we have. Okay. These ones, they've been a bit of a hit and miss, to be fair. The last one that I tried of this one was okay, but the quality didn't sound particularly fantastic. This one, though, on the left-hand side, which is being promoted, could be an interesting one. Let's have a look. So this one this could actually be very useful. So if you have maybe an Android device and you want to be able to connect your lav microphone to your Android device, you could use this. So you see here, it's got on the one end the headphone jack, and on the other end it's got the USB, which is very handy. Up here as well, it's got this converter here, which I believe is a TRRS to TRS. I'll explain what that is shortly. Okay, give me 1 second. So let's have a look at what it says. So type C, USB to, yeah, okay. Then stereo adapter 4 to 3 pin. Okay, so this should be the TRS to TRS converter. Okay, so let me explain the difference between TRS and TRRS. On the bottom picture where you have the converter, you notice that there are 2 black rings on the end of the connector. And let me show you, let me see if I can find an example. So this is an example of the 2 black rings, okay? 1, 2, and that is TRS. If you have 3 black rings, that would be TRRS. Bear that in mind. Now, TRS, like this, with the 2 black rings, this is useful particularly for when you are recording straight to a camera. And if you are recording to a mobile phone or your computer and you want to use this connection, then you would need a converter that would convert whatever you have to 3 rings. So I just wanted to bear that in mind. So this is what this cable is doing. It's similar to the one I have here. It's converting the 3 rings, which is this one here. As you can see, there are 3 black rings on the end there, to 2 rings. Okay, so that you can use it either with your camera or with your mobile phone. Okay, and here, let's say your mobile phone doesn't take any inputs, but it doesn't take any audio inputs, but it does take USB-C, then you can use this as well. So this is actually a good microphone I would recommend. And it's got extra wind muffs, so just to guard for the wind, which is very useful, I have to say. Yeah, so it's kind of explained what this is here. So the default is the 3 rings, but if you want to do it 2 rings, maybe to record on your camera, for example, then you can use this converter. So it's pretty handy. I would recommend this. By the way, this is going for $25.55 before tax, but there'll be other ones as well that are similar. But I'll recommend, that's what I would recommend. Now, like I mentioned, you can also try out a few that are wireless, so which gives you the ultimate freedom. Before I talked about how you could basically move hands-free without it, but you are still tethered to the cable. But then if you wanted a completely wireless experience, you could try one of these. However, I do say you do get what you pay for. So personally, I wouldn't go for any of these, but if you're willing to try them, you can. For me, if I was going to go for a wireless solution, the one I have is by Rode, and that one is a bit on the higher side, a few $100s. But if you want something less expensive, you can check out the ones that we mentioned before. But like I said, the one I would recommend for this at the moment would be either this one or the one we just looked at, which was this one right here, the Power Device Upgraded. So I'll put that in the cart so we can have a look. But then let's look at a few wireless ones. Okay, like I said, I've never tested this before, so I can't tell if it works. This one says it's a bestseller, but notice this bit means it can only work with iPhone, so you're a bit limited with that. Let's keep going. DJI is a very well-known brand, and as very well-known brands go, they do cost quite a pretty penny. So this is $349. You can get, I believe you can get cheaper ones. I mean, look at this newer version, for example. I don't know about the quality. I haven't tried it yet, but I would say Newer is a good enough brand to test out and try out. If you're on Amazon Prime, you can test it out. If you don't like it, you can get your money back. The one I use is the Rode Wireless Go 2. But over here, you've got the Hollyland Lark. I've heard good reviews about this one, and it's also one of the top rated. So, you know, it's a good option. And then if you're looking to increase your budget. But if you're just starting off as a content creator, I would actually recommend that you just go for something simple. Use the wired one to start with, just to get you started, and then you can upgrade over time. But yes, here are a few other options available to you. So let me put the DJI one in the cart. I'll also put the Hollyland one in the cart as well. Okay, then let me find the one I would normally go for, my go-to, the one I have. So this is the one I have, which is the Rode Wireless Go 2. However, Rode do have the Rode Wireless Me, I believe it's called. Let me find it. Oh, so they've got the Wireless Pro, which is even more expensive, but you've got the Wireless Me as well, I believe. And that's more in the affordable range. So it's just got one transmitter and one receiver, and you can record with that as well. So you've got different options. Let's go to our cart and see. It's looking quite expensive, but obviously we're not going to buy all of these. If you want to go Rode, if you want to go for premium and you want to go for a well-known brand, I'd recommend Rode. If you're looking for something that's a well-known brand, but also not too expensive, Hollyland Lark M2 is a good option there. DJI is also one of the premium brands. If you're looking for a microphone that kind of does pretty much what you need and it gives you all the connections that you could possibly need, I'd recommend this Power Device one. If you know what you're working with and you just want something to get you started and you're recording with a camera, then this newer one is fine, and it gives you 2, which is great. However, bear in mind, if you want to record straight to your phone, you will need a converter, either one that converts from TRS, because notice it's 2 rings here. So TRS to TRRS if your phone takes an audio jack. If not, then you will need a TRS to USB-C converter. So just bear that in mind. So you need to buy that separately, basically. Let's see, though, if we can find one that's under $15 or under $20, like I said in the video. So let's have a look. So if we go back to Lavalier microphone, we're going to set the price to a maximum of $20. We can increase this, let's say, to $7. just to reduce the number of results that come through. Let's have a look at what we get. We do get quite a lot of interesting options over here. This is an interesting one. It gives you one that converts it to USB, so you can plug it straight to your computer that way if you're going to be recording using your computer. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So a wired one. I mean, this is pretty good as well. Again, you might need the converter to convert it from this to either USB-C or iPhone or the TRRS. So bear that in mind. This is another option, which again is good. This one, as you can see, has 3 rings. So from that, you can then decide whether that works for you or whether you still need to get the USB-C or USB or iPhone converter. I'm still having a look to see what other options are available. I wouldn't go for this one with just 1 ring. That's too risky. Don't do that. Then if you have any questions, by the way, and you're going through this, and you want me to answer any questions that you have, please feel free to ask. I'd be happy to answer for you. Okay, we're still looking. So this is another one under the 20 mark, except again, bear in mind, the reason why you're paying more for the other one at 25 is the inclusion of the USB-C converter, as well as the TRS to TRRS converter. If you've come to this middle of this video and you don't know the difference between TRS and TRRS, rewind this video, you'll see I explained it there. Okay, so the others it's beginning to show now are all wireless lav mics. Oh, there are a few wired ones. Again, there are quite a few to meet different budgets, right? So you've just got to see what works for you. But I'm hoping that going through this with you, the process with you, will make it a bit easier so that when you actually do come to buying, you would. Like I said, for my recommendation, for somebody who is just starting off, I would recommend you go for this one. So this package here. And it's the 2555 package, but then the reason to go for it is that it also has this USB converter as well as this TRS to TRRS converter. I think those two are very powerful, and they just set you up such that you don't have to think about changing things too much when it comes to recording. You can just buy it and get going. I hope this presentation helped you, and it kind of showed you what you need to do in order to get the microphone you want to use. But like I always say, just get your microphone, get recording, and start making content. Start improving as you go along. And you'll find that it's not really your equipment that makes your video, although they do help. What really makes your video is the quality of your content and the message that you're putting forward in your content. So work on that in particular. All right, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.